Hello everyone and welcome to this week's reviews. DreamWorks Animation have partnered with the Chinese animation studio Pearl to create this story of a yeti who tries to make his way back home. I know it's not the first yeti-centered animated movie to come along over the past year, but that should not mean we have to dismiss it. How does this adventure fare? This is Abominable. Director Jill Colton has done a beautiful job of telling this story, and she really understands how to use animation to help enhance it. The movie immediately establishes the lead character Yi and her troubles and what she's dealing with. There are a number of scenes where Colton just allows Yi to play her violin and having us swept up by the visuals and the music. The bond she forms with a yeti named Everest is really touching, as is her friendship with two pals who tag along on the journey. I have to mention Nico Malay, who did a superb job of designing the characters, from Yi to Everest to other animals we encounter. There's a particularly funny running joke with a snake I really enjoyed. Colton and the artists and animators did a wonderful job of showing the different locales in China and come up with some imaginative ways for how the characters go from one place to another. Even the villain is well handled, as his motivations are properly explored and he becomes just as rounded as the protagonist. Beyond the heart and humor of Abominable, the messages are really lovely too. The movie touches on themes of family and loss in a way that is properly conveyed to the audience. There is also an animal rights message, which is something I always appreciate in movies like this. This being a Chinese co-production, there are also cultural and family themes presented, and shows that when done properly, animated films can be such a great way to introduce other cultures to us. Abominable is a movie with a good heart, impressively directed set pieces, and gorgeous animation, and proves to be another solid entry in DreamWorks' ever-growing catalog. Pearl Studio will also be animating Glenn Keane's next movie, Over the Moon, for Netflix, so I'm now even more excited to see what the artists and animators there bring to the table on that project. Next up, Renee Zellweger plays Judy Garland near the end of her life in the biopic Judy. Even though I just described this movie as a biopic, it's closer to something like the recent Stan and Ollie, in that the focus is on a specific time in this Hollywood icon's life, with flashbacks to her movie days. Director Rupert Gold does a good job of jumping between Judy Garland in late 1960s London and when she was a teenage actress on the MGM backlot filming The Wizard of Oz. Those flashbacks are pivotal in giving an understanding of her later years, and the movie does not sugarcoat the treatment she got from Louis B. Mayer and others when filming that classic musical. Renee Zellweger does not go for an outright impersonation of Garland, but does capture her spirit and spunk and why her stage persona captivated so many. Meanwhile, Darcy Shaw is also great as the 16-year-old Garland, as she tries to prove she has the chops to play Dorothy. While the movie is not an outright musical, we do get a few musical numbers, which are well performed and also give us an understanding of her mindset. The rendition of the trolley song is used to particularly good effect. Judy is careful not to portray her as a saint, but it does not defame her either. Ultimately, it's a lovely tribute to Judy Garland, giving her the respect she deserves and displaying why so many were entranced by her and wanting to be friends with her. If you're a fan of Judy Garland, definitely be on the lookout for it. Thank you for watching this week's reviews, and I'll see you next time.